Hi everyone, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I welcome you to this reading, which is going to be a first for me. I'm going to attempt to have a conversation with the karmic of my divine masculine. So if this resonates with you and you want to speak to your karmic, your divine masculine's karmic, then this video is going to be for you. So I need to clear the space because if we're going to have a conversation with the karmic, we need to make sure that the energies are pure, full of love and gratitude for whatever they're doing, for the relationship and teaching whatever they need to teach. I know that my karmic did teach me a lot of lessons, and just be careful that when you do this smudging, make sure you always ensure you cover the bottom with a shell or something. So clearing the energies, bringing in the love and the gratitude. This is going to be a conversation of love with the karmic, not one of resentment. And we're going to clear that love and we're going to allow them to do whatever is best for the highest good of all. Without any expectations, without any force, we're going to ask the spirits of love and light, ascended masters, angels, to give us the true messages between the twin of the divine masculine and his karmic. So I have to put this out, but let's see. Okay, so as we focus on this conversation with good intentions, clearing the space, I ask the spirits of love and light to bring me the guidance I need with a sense of pure clarity, divine love, for everything is love, even the karmics. And we ask that we have the messages that are meant to be heard at this time. May you guide my hand to pick the appropriate deck for the specific messages for both the divine feminine of the masculine twin and his karmic. In particular, if he has a feminine karmic. So the first deck that I'm being drawn to is this Crystal Angels. So thank you, thank you. We have one for both parties. I'll call it both parties. It's a bit of a tongue twister. So setting this up, I'm now going to refer to both in this conversation as both parties. Blessed be to all that watch this. I do hope that you're able to manifest your union through having gratitude and love for the karmic. So I have one card for the karmic, please. One card for the karmic. One card for the karmic. One card for the karmic, please. Thank you. one card for the Divine Feminine. We have one card for the Divine Feminine. All the Divine Feminines watching. Thank you. Bottom of the deck we have, there's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. So that's a very good message. There's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. Okay, so I hope you can see that okay. Let's put this light on. Oops. So we'll see what that message indicates at the end. Okay, so you've got one for the karmic, one for the Divine Feminine here, and one for the karmic. So the next one I'm drawn to is the Earth Magic deck. Can we please have the message for the Divine of both parties, the karmic of the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine? What is the message, the conversation that these two are having in the 5D? And if they were in the physical, this would be an interesting dynamic. And let's look at perhaps what the future is in terms of how they're going to interact or not, whichever may be the case. Blessings of love and light give us the messages for the good of all, for the highest good of all involved. We have one card for the karmic, please. One card for the karmic. Okay. We have one card for the Divine Feminine, please. Thank you. Bottom of the deck we've got Tsunami, Wake Up Call. Tsunami, Wake Up Call. Okay, so the next deck, is there any other decks that I feel drawn to? So I'm being drawn to the Energy deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. What is the message between the divine parties, the parties of each divine, the karmic of the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine? What is the conversation between the two? Let's get these things cleared up once and for all. Thank you, thank you. What is the energy between them? What is the energy between the karmic of the Divine Masculine and the twin of the Divine Masculine? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we have one for the now, please? Thank you. Karmic. Divine Feminine, please. Divine Feminine. One for the Divine Feminine. What is her energy? What is her energy towards the karmic? Thank you. Bottom of the deck, we've got Action. So Action, 17. It's the 8, it's the Infinity card. It's also the Twin Flame Union card. Okay, so what else do we have? Any more messages from the karmic of the Divine Masculine to the twin of the Divine Masculine? Thank you. Okay, so I feel I'm going to start with these three. The karmic, what is she saying to the Divine Feminine? So the first one we have is Peridot. This is the Crystal Angel's Life Lessons. You can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and the blessing they contain. That's the first card. The next card, the sex card, is unfoldment, lotus flower, unfoldment, and patience, patience. Okay. So let's have a look and see if we can see what's being said. The divine masculine's karmic is saying you can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and blessing they contain. Right, she's saying that I'm praying about this situation. I'm praying that my divine masculine or my karmic partner is going to resolve this situation. But I'm learning to have patience because nothing is happening. The lessons are unfolding as we go through this process of learning the life lessons. So you need to have patience, Divine Feminine, because the lessons are unfolding. They will be teaching me lots of lessons, and I'm praying to know the lesson and blessing that this situation is giving me. So give me time to pray for solutions. Give me time give me time to learn the lessons of what is happening in this situation. So yeah, the karmic is asking the Divine Feminine to give her time. Don't rush her. She will let go in due course, but she needs time to understand the lessons, to learn the lessons. So what is the message from the Divine Feminine to the Divine Masculines? Karmic. First one we have is community. And you see there are 3 women, and this is, you know, the spiritual community aspect. This is where in the 5D, before we came down, the 2 of us as you know, soul sisters decided to have these experiences. We agreed this. She agreed to marry my twin flame and help him through his life lessons, and I agreed to allow her to do that. We also have healthy communication in relationships. Heart-to-heart discussions and clear, assertive communication help you understand and be understood. So healthy communication in relationships from the heart is saying your truth, saying your truth. We have the Earth Magic card here, which I don't know what that actually means, so I'm going to have to look up the deck book for the Earth Magic. Yeah. Oh, I see. I've got to look under F. Fairies. I'm looking under E. Fairies and nature spirits thought to be descended from the early tribes, particularly Tuthatha Dinan, who's associated with the goddess Dana, who once ruled Ireland that inhabited the British Isles. Over time, these ancient people were conquered and displaced, and they fled to areas where humans didn't venture, ultimately becoming increasingly smaller and less visible in order to better hide themselves. Fairies have assumed responsibility for the plants and the trees, or standing ones. They work with earth magic to take care of these beings, and if you ask, they'll help you with your garden or yard. They also have the power of enchantment and shape shifting. Fairies appreciate it when we show them through our actions that we love the earth as much as they do, and consequently they bestow a little of their earth magic upon us. You have the same power available to you as the fairies do. It starts with loving the earth through your heartfelt gratitude and appreciation, but more important, through your actions. The fairies can help you reconnect in a more intimate way with the earth. What they require is your willingness to pay attention to the trees and plant life around you and demonstrate your care. Whether you live in a small space or have an expanse of land, make it a point to be especially attentive to your surrounding vegetation. Plant something. Get your hands in the dirt and do so with love and enthusiasm. Every flower, tree and shrub you are tending is a living being. So treat each like you would a dear friend. Ask the fairies to help you take care of these friends, and you will be rewarded many times over. So, as I just have my allotment, and I have been working on my allotment, and by the way, I have been bitten to smithereens, but I'm using coconut oil to stop the irritation. So what am I saying? What is the divine feminine saying to the divine masculine's karmic? She's saying, give me time. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to give you time because I understand that tending to the earth and seeds and trees requires respect. I understand this is heartfelt communication with the soul sisters in community. I understand that you are an earth being, a magical being, and I'm willing to give you time because I know that you have to tend the flowers and the plants and the herbs. You cannot rush them. So yes, I will give you time. I will give you time. I will give you that sense of community and do you that favor, and that I'm okay with that. So we're having a heart-to-heart discussion and clear, assertive communication to help you understand. So we understand each other, karmic. We understand each other that you are going to release my divine masculine, but I am going to give you the time to do that because I respect that anything worth cultivating, you have to nurture it and give it time and allow it to grow and unfold as you want to unfold your lessons, so that you can release my divine masculine to me, release him over to me, so that he can be free. So we are talking as soul sisters from a heart-to-heart perspective. You want the time, you want time. I'm going to give you time because I need to nurture the garden. So the garden that I'm nurturing, I am nurturing for my twin flame, your husband, who will be coming to me through the enchantment of the magical spirits of the earth, as my twin and your husband was a farmer, and he enjoys planting seeds and growing vegetables and I have manifested an allotment for us to work in together. But I will give you time to release my masculine and send him home to me. And I'm happy to do that because I trust that the contract we made was fair and square, and we have to honour that contract. And in honouring that contract, you agree to release my divine masculine in a way that is not vindictive, unhealthy, peaceful, and you will get your rewards, and that will be fine. So yes, this card represents prosperity. There's a positive shift. So once you release my divine masculine to me, we can both prosper in ways that we never imagined, because this is the true path of the unfolding lessons that we both agreed to have. And yes, so the beautiful space that we're in is that, yes, you've had a wake-up call, you're learning lessons, and I'm willing to give you the time to learn those lessons fully, however long it takes. So, Ascended Masters, can you give us a card from the message from the Ascended Masters for the Divine Masculines? Karmic, please. What is the Divine Masculines karmic message from the Ascended Masters? Yoga. So there's going to be a unity. She's wanting to unify her own integration self and become one with her own spirit. And what is it for the twin flame? Divine Feminine. Focus upon your strengths. So yes, I'm focusing on my strengths. One is that of communication, tending the earth, allowing patience. I have learnt great patience, and I am focusing on my strengths rather than focusing on the fact that my divine masculine is not yet fully released. And on the bottom of the deck, it's work your magic. So we're asking our combined energies together to work their magic. We both want the divine masculine to shift. You want him to shift out of your life, even if it's on the 5D. And you want to come into spiritual union, karmic. You want this yoga, and it won't happen as long as you have my divine masculine in your arms. But maybe he's not in your arms. Maybe he's somewhere else. But I'm focusing on my strengths. I am strong because I know this union is true. And I'm willing to give you the time to learn your lessons, and then you will release my divine masculine. As contracted by the spiritual soul sister union that we agreed on, you would marry my divine masculine, and I would allow you the time to do that. But now it's time to release him and send him back home to where he belongs. But that's okay. I'll give you time because I have an allotment manifested for him and I to work in, and that takes time to nurture the flowers. And I'm good at patience. I've done patience like an athlete, and patience is a great muscle strengthener Blessings of love and light. What is the direction for the divine masculine's karmic? What does she want to say about the direction that she wants to go in? And what does the direction... well, we'll do the divine masculine's karmic. So what does she want to communicate to me about the direction she wants to move in? We've already got the yoga card, but what direction will that yoga card take her into once she's got union with herself? What is that? And can we have one for the divine feminine, please? Wait, we've got two. We've got two cards coming out. And we've got coming together. 8, it's the infinity card. We've got coming together. Very, very nice. Very nice. So let's see what the divine masculine's karmic. Okay, she's saying gentle gardener. Right, so she has asked me to give her time to learn the lessons that this situation is teaching her. She wants spiritual union with her own self, but she's not yet at that place because they're just going through their stuff. And as we're talking metaphors for gardens and everything, we've got the gentle gardener here. She's saying, I have to do this gently. I have to be gentle with myself, getting into union with with her own spiritual self. This is a new phase of my life, and I need to treat myself gently. So she's nurturing her own spiritual garden at this time. What am I saying to her, or the divine feminine? What are we saying to the divine masculine's karmic? We're saying we're focusing on our strengths. We've got movement card and we've got the field of dreams. We're saying we want the completion of this dream. We want this dream. We want our divine masculines to come home to us. And we, again, there's a 10 here, which is completion. We're saying that the seeds have been planted, right? You're growing your gentle garden. You're nurturing this because the seeds have been planted. The wish has been shown. The tsunami wake-up call has happened. And your yogic quest has begun, but you want the gentle gardener. You want to be gentle with yourself. But we're saying we're focusing on our strengths, which is our patience and our ability to nurture and have a healthy communication with you, this heart-to-heart conversation that we're having now, karmic and divine feminine. This is our strength, is we are spiritually strong already. We're ahead of you, kind of thing. And we're allowing you that time to get to your own spiritual time, spiritual peace and connection. So we're saying, you know, obviously we want movement towards the dream. So we're saying, yes, we understand that having this strength of patience is going to move us towards the dream. It's going to give us that movement, you know, by forcing and being desperate and wishing that you would just let the divine masculine go, or feeling angry towards you, is going to stop any movement. So by us having this heart-to-heart conversation and you asking us, the divine feminines, to give you time to learn the lessons that you need in order to be spiritual and be gentle with yourself, we are in turn going to create that movement forward. We're going to help accelerate it and complete it. 21, the world. This is when we will get our world. We let you have your world, and we will have our world. So we can be very, very collaborative in this quest for union. So let's look to see if there's any past life energy between the divine masculine's karmic and the divine feminine. Is there any past life energy related to these energies? Past life energies between the divine masculine karmic and the divine feminine. What are the divine messages? Thank you. What's the past life energy? Any cards you want to give us? No particular. Maybe one card to give us the connecting past life energy between us. It needs to be cleared what we're going through. One card, please. Okay. Baby. Persecution and Inquisition is the bottom of the past life deck. Okay, this one comes up. Imprisonment and slavery. Transformation again. Always comes up. So look at these three cards. Past life, persecution, imprisonment and transportation. Now, some of you may know I had a past life with my twin in the slave period, the beginning of the slave trade, and we were grabbed and put on one of those ships. Which is always very difficult for me when that comes up. So maybe she had a role in that process, and maybe she's entrapping him by, you know, being in this sort of modern slavery trap thing. And well, so I need to forgive you for that if you were part of that persecution, getting us on that ship, that slavery ship. Or I know his role was to clean the slaves down when they came off. So I don't really know what role you would have played. I'd have to go to a past life person to find that. But anyway, the connecting energy between us is the baby. So there was a son involved. There was a son involved. Perhaps you were the mother. Okay, the baby wants to go to that side. The baby wants to go to the side of the karmic. My divine masculine was your son, the one that cleaned the slaves down. He didn't like the job. He didn't want to be on that ship. But you were being dominated by a conquistador, and you were raped by him, and you had this baby, which was my divine masculine. So now you are sort of imprisoning him or beholding him. Yeah. So if he was your son, you were raped by him, and then I'm really sorry, and I cannot hate you for that. Cannot hate you for that. So if we agreed as soul sisters for you to have that experience all those lifetimes ago, and we were all involved unwillingly in this beginning of the slave trade on the Middle Passage, the ships that were called the Middle Passage, we were all victims of that period. So in a way we are sort of kindred spirits, because we both love this child that was born. But it's time to forgive yourself for that, whether you forgive yourself for being weak, my role for your son in that time was, he should have gone with me, he said at the end of his life. He should have gone with me, but then he ended up going with somebody called Lucy, who was like a showgirl. So he went for the, you know, the pretty girl, but he ended up alone. And but the lesson was he should have followed his heart. So I'm hoping in this life he does follow his heart. But basically, karmic, we both love this person, and but it's time for you to release him. He's not your baby anymore. So, Archangel Michael, can you give us some clarity on this for the direction for both of us now? One for the karmic, please. And one for the divine feminine, please. Thank you. Bottom of the deck, this card keeps coming up. You're on the right path. So everything is good. You're on the right path. So your loved ones are safe. So yes, your baby is safe. We are safe now. We're not in those times of persecution. We are now safe. We can put all that behind us. It's finished. We are no longer victims. You can be in your unity. Your baby is safe. And there is going to be a favourable outcome for all of us, which is what we both want. For this child to be happy and inherit the joy that he came into this world. Well, should have come into this world, but in his real life, he's actually a real life orphan. So it's time for him to come back home to his spiritual home, which is with his divine feminine. Your loved one is safe. Loved one is safe and saved. He will be saved, and he will belong. He will feel like he belongs again. So all these lifetimes through being, you know, the child of a rape victim, then being an orphan in this life. So the pattern probably continued throughout his lifetimes, and now it's time to complete that cycle, come home, and everybody will be, he's safe, your baby is safe. Okay, so that was what was between us in the past life. Is our divine masculine, my divine masculine, and your current husband. So a message from Mother Mary, so that we have this unconditional love between us, karmic and the divine feminine. Wow. Two cards, one-on-one. Home. Mother Mary says, I trust and follow my divine guidance about my home. So the underlying energy is home. We all want to come home. All of us. I'm lovingly honest with myself and others. So yeah, there's truth and there's marriage. You are married to my divine masculine. I make a commitment to my healthy relationship with God, myself and my partner. So the healthy relationship is to finally realize that you no longer need to keep him imprisoned in a situation he does not want to be in, as he was on the ship, but he had to do it because both of you were under, you know, some sort of pressure, conquistadors, horrible people. You no longer need to be married to him. And it's time for me to accept the truth that, you know, I'm telling you my truth. I want my divine masculine home. But I will give you time. But this is my truth. I want the dream. I want movement. And I'm willing to give you the patience and the time to do it. So divine masculine, you're married to him, but he is my truth. I am his truth. You need to learn that. You need time. Be gentle with yourself, but you will find spiritual union. You will get your prosperity and everybody, and there will be a favorable outcome for everybody. And he is safe. So you no longer need to hold on to him. Okay, so karmic, I send you blessings. Angels of love and light. Our divine masculine, look at him in there. Isn't he just gorgeous? No wonder we love him. So thank you very much for having this conversation with me. And I send you my divine love. And I hope you the best of everything. Namaste. Blessings and love.